Iran is increasingly sidelining the United States on the Strait of Hormuz issue, turning instead to regional stakeholders to negotiate directly. Arab states and Iran now appear poised to sit together to address Hormuz operations without Donald Trump in the room, moving toward a regional framework to manage shipping and security. Beyond Hormuz, separate reconciliation talks between Iran and Arab countries are being planned, aiming to repair ties strained by the US-imposed war. In effect, Middle Eastern allies are beginning to bypass Trump's White House and explore peace arrangements directly with Iran. Reports indicate that Iran, Arab nations, and Iraq could convene to discuss operational rules and practical arrangements for the Strait of Hormuz, focusing on how shipping and security will be handled going forward. These talks may also feature Iranian proposals for future fees or charges related to Hormuz transit, an issue that directly affects global shipping companies and energy markets. The developments were described by a regional diplomat, as reported by Reuters on June 24, framing the initiative as a parallel track to US-Iran negotiations. Crucially, these regional talks are separate from US-Iran peace discussions and from existing arrangements to clear mines from Hormuz, indicating multiple overlapping negotiation tracks around the strait. Iranian proposals for charges could be linked to environmental protection, navigational services, and security provisions, allowing Tehran to justify fees as public goods measures rather than pure tolls. Arab states, however, are widely expected to oppose new transit fees, arguing that ships should be able to pass through the international strait without additional financial burdens. On June 24, Qatar's Prime Minister reportedly visited Oman to start building consensus, using Muscat's traditional mediator role to kick off the process of regional coordination on Hormuz. In parallel, separate regional reconciliation talks between Iran and Arab states are said to be in planning for Riyadh, underlining Saudi Arabia's effort to shape a post-war regional order. On June 24, Donald Trump stated that Iran had assured the US it would not seek tolls, insurance surcharges, or other charges on ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz, presenting that as a firm commitment. Trump said, and I quote, "Iran has informed the US that there are no tolls, no insurance costs, and no other charges of any kind being sought or received by Iran on ships traveling the Strait of Hormuz. If this is false information, negotiations would end immediately. Food is desperately needed in Iran, and we will be purchasing it for them exclusively from the United States." End quote. Under the existing Memorandum of Understanding, Iran has already agreed to suspend any Hormuz transit fees for a 60-day period, giving the region breathing space while wider talks unfold. In return, the United States has lifted its naval blockade of Iranian ports, allowing Iranian shipping and exports to move more freely under the new arrangement. Both sides are expected to use that 60-day window to negotiate a final deal, aiming to turn the provisional memorandum into a more permanent framework by the end of the period. It is worth recalling that Iran declared the Strait of Hormuz closed on June 20 in response to Israeli bombing in Lebanon, using the choke point as leverage in the wider regional confrontation. The United States quickly contradicted Tehran's claim, insisting publicly that the strait remained open and that shipping had not been fully halted. Soon after, ships began moving through Hormuz under a newly launched evacuation and transit plan led by the United Nations, aimed at safely clearing stranded vessels from the area. This scheme, coordinated through the International Maritime Organization, came into effect on June 24 and provides structured corridors and procedures for ships to pass through the strait. Within the first 12 hours of the plan, at least 2 dry bulk carriers and 1 cargo vessel were reported to have successfully transited Hormuz. At least 35 other commercial ships are preparing to sail through the strait under the UN-backed scheme, indicating that a significant backlog of stranded vessels could soon be cleared. Overall, the UN plan is designed to allow hundreds of ships and stranded seafarers to transit Hormuz safely, gradually normalizing traffic even as political negotiations continue. The US Senate voted to direct President Trump to withdraw American forces from the Iran conflict. The move marked one of the strongest congressional challenges this year to Trump's war powers. 4 Republican senators joined Democrats in backing the measure, underscoring bipartisan concern. The vote reflected growing unease in both parties over US military involvement in the region. The resolution does not require Trump's signature and does not carry direct legal force. The vote exposed deepening divisions between Congress and the administration. Lawmakers continue to clash over who should control decisions on military action against Iran. The debate is likely to intensify as tensions with Tehran remain a central foreign policy issue. The Senate vote marked the latest effort by lawmakers seeking to limit presidential authority. Democrats have pushed war powers votes throughout the year, at times drawing Republican support. The latest move came after some Republicans broke ranks to support restrictions on Trump's authority. Trump blasted Republican critics, accusing them of undermining national interests and military strategy. Despite congressional pressure, U.S. forces appear to remain heavily deployed across the Middle East. U.S. Central Command said the USS George H.W. Bush and its carrier strike group continue operations near Iran. U.S. officials say naval forces remain vigilant as Washington monitors compliance with the Tehran deal. The continued deployment suggests the Pentagon is maintaining a strong posture despite peace efforts.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.